let's see what's going on with the Bears. So last year they finished 8-8, mediocre, run in the mill. For as hard as we are on Mitch Trubisky, he still managed to not have a losing record in the NFL. So good for Mitch. But this year, I've been going 6-11. You mentioned the questions on what they were going to do at the quarterback position. Well, the answer ended up being Justin Fields, which leaves more questions because Matt Nagy is insisting that Andy Dalton will be the starter in week 1.
One starter. I know. And I do think I've thought about this a lot. I feel like I can see why he's going to put Andy Dalton in as the starter, especially to start the season, because Justin Fields is a rookie. He hasn't played in the NFL. You got Andy Dalton, who's a veteran and has all this experience, but it's also Andy Dalton. I'm like, as a Bears fan, and I feel like as Bears fans are so sick of the quarterback woes that they have been dealing with over the years, and I feel like the Bears cannot get it right in that position. I would hope maybe, Andy Dalton's going to come and fly off the charts and be unreal, amazing. People are going to be super excited. Or, he's not going to be that good. I think we're going to see Justin Fields taking the field sooner rather than later for the Bears. But I do like that the Bears ended up drafting him. I think it was a decent draft pick for them. And I'm hopeful for Bears fans because I think they need something. I just feel bad for them with the quarterback situations that they've been dealing with.
It was interesting the fall from grace for Justin Fields because the guy started as the guy right behind Trevor Lawrence. It was going to be Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. And then as we got closer to draft day, that narrative kept switching, kept changing. We heard random things about epilepsy, work ethic. And from there, it ended up being Zach Wilson. And then not just Zach Wilson, you mentioned Trey Lance goes above him. Fourth quarterback off the board officially, just above Mac Jones. Justin Fields, I don't know what people are necessarily missing about the guy because whenever I watched him against Clemson last year, those throws will translate.
Right, exactly. And that's why I'm like, I honestly feel like he was a big steal for the Bears. So I hope it pans out.
Yeah, I think the big question now is going to be whether or not the Bears defense is still the Bears defense because Khalil Mack, he's getting a little older. Akeem Hicks, these guys aren't necessarily producing at the same level they were a couple years ago when they would have been potentially a Super Bowl contender. And their only issue was Mitch Trubisky.
Right.
It's funny because I think they're just a couple years behind on this because they had the defense. They just never had the quarterback.
Right.
Now their defense is getting older and their quarterback's still learning. So I think that their time windows just aren't lining up perfectly.
You could be right. And I'm hoping that, you never know. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping at least the quarterback situation will be seeming to get somewhat better this year for the Bears.
Yeah, I think the big reason why I have them 6-11 is just because I know obviously they are going to start the year with Andy Dalton, as they've been saying. So I do believe that at some point there's going to be a learning curve for Justin Fields, and that's going to result in kind of that mediocre record that I have them at.
Definitely.